Tonight on Cronkite News, remembering 9/11 22 years later, the annual Valley ceremony that honors those who lost their lives that day.
Plus, breaking the thermometer, Arizona sets a record for the most days this summer with temperatures over 110 degrees. But there is good news on the way. Your forecast is ahead.
Another hot game for Sun Devil football last weekend as they came up short against a future Big 12 rival, where Arizona State stands among Pac-12 talent. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Tabitha Bland.
And I'm Jacob Luthi. Thank you for joining us. 22 years ago today, tragedy struck our country when thousands died in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. This morning, the Healing Field in Tempe read the names of the victims and honored the lives lost at a memorial service.
I was to attend the service at sunrise and to see the importance of remembering 9/11. "8:46 a.m. Eastern Time. The national anthem plays as the sun rises in Arizona. 22 years ago, at this exact moment, the first tower was hit on 9/11.
It was extreme. It was almost like it wasn't a real, it was a movie. It wasn't happening for real to me.
For many, like Burdetta Hodge, this morning is a time of sorrow and remembrance.
I had my cousin who got out of Tower 1 and went into Tower 2 to get his sister, and they both died in Tower 2.
She recalls the last phone call that she had with him.
So to talk to him minutes before he dies, and for him to tell me no matter what happens, you know, that he loves me and to continue on, it's just, it'll never leave you. It'll always be with you.
2,977 flags, all representing a life that was lost 22 years ago today on 9/11, each with a name to remember. Every victim's name is read.
Thomas Anthony Casoria.
And to continue their legacy through the generations. That is why Kim Ireland brings her kids to the memorial every year.
We come out every year. We've been coming for the last, I don't remember how long, since she was very little.
Since I was 2.
2?
6 years.
The goal is for the next generation to continue to honor the lives that were lost.
No matter what age bracket, I think everyone feels 9/11. The world changed from 9/11, and it'll never, ever be the same. We want to heal, but we should never forget. This is the reason why when you look at all those beautiful flags, you'll never forget.
The memorial event took place over the course of 3 days and ended tonight with a candlelight vigil. The flags, each representing a victim, will remain standing until tomorrow morning. And at the 9/11 Memorial in New York City this morning, moments of silence, bell tolls, and name readings honored the victims of the terror attacks. Vice President Harris was in attendance at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum this morning, along with other local officials, to honor the lives that were lost. There were 6 moments of silence total to acknowledge when the towers fell, the attack on the Pentagon, and the crash of United Airlines Flight 93.
Meanwhile, in Arizona, one local organization created in the wake of 9/11 is trying to help refugees resettle. This comes amidst a historic year of refugee resettlement. Cronkite News reporter Roxanne De La Rosa is live in our newsroom with the organization's progress.
The Welcome to America Project's co-founder, Phil Manning, lost his brother during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. To honor his memory, he created the organization to provide hope to those who are forced to leave their country. Phil Manning explains to volunteers how important it is to help others in need.
Because he knows those people went through a lot to get here, and some people would give up, but most of these people haven't.
The Welcome to America Project began in October 2001, and since then, they have welcomed refugee families.
We have served over 17,000 refugees since our foundation. Currently, we year to date have served 2,000 refugees just this year alone.
According to the latest report of the Arizona Refugee Resettlement Program, in 2023 alone, Arizona received nearly 13,000 Cubans and over 5,000 Afghans. Over 98,000 refugees from 1981 to August 31st of this year.
We are serving a majority of the population from Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burma, Myanmar.
The Welcome to America project provides basic needs for refugees. They accept donations.
We take household goods, we take bikes for transportations, television for English acquisition, and computers for digital literacy. We pack those items here in the warehouse. We sort all of our volunteers sort all of our donations that we get in throughout the week. And on Saturdays, we have a number of volunteers who sign up.
About 75 volunteers assisted at the Tempe location. Volunteers came out to give back to their community.
Safety, education, and just a foundation to rebuild their lives. So just remembering that, you want to treat your neighbor with kindness and welcome them.
Giving them a new start. We can't fix the world, but we can help the refugees that come here.
The founders of Welcome to America project recently opened new facilities in Tucson to continue their mission of helping refugees and plan to continue growing. Roxanne de la Rosa, Cronkite News.
For the first time throughout Arizona, students are required to learn about 9/11. Students across the state, all of whom were born after the attacks, are required to learn about 9/11 after former Governor Doug Ducey introduced a bill for it last year. Many school districts across the state have already been honoring the day. Districts hosted assemblies, wrote thank you notes to first responders, and observed moments of silence in remembrance.
The other big story here in the Valley, the record-breaking heat. Our Jordy Fee Platt joins us now from the Weather Center with more on just how hot it's been over the last few days.
It was certainly a record-breaking weekend in the Valley in terms of temperature. 112 degrees yesterday sets the record for September 10th. 111 was the previous high set in 1990. That is a very long record, and it's been a crazy record-breaking summer in general in Phoenix. 55 days over 110. It's been really, really hard to go outside. You don't want to go out for more than 5 or 10 minutes with those types of temperatures. And fortunately, coming up here, we'll have some more relief with temperatures in the low 100s and higher 90s as we approach middle of September and the fall coming up. So stay tuned for more. We'll have more on those cooler temperatures from the Cronkite Weather Center. This is Jordy Fee Platt.
Coming up next, Mexico's Independence Day is honored in Arizona for the second year in a row. This celebration the Capitol is hosting ahead of the big day. We are back in 2 minutes.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage.
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Welcome back. For the second annual year, El Grito, which led to Mexico's fight for freedom, will be held at Arizona's state capitol to honor Mexico Independence Day and Hispanic heritage. Our Adriana Gonzalez Chavez spoke with advocates who stressed the importance of the events. Adriana?
And having the chance to celebrate the Grito, the Cry of Dolores, in the main political place of Arizona, it's a great chance, great opportunity to show that Arizona and Mexico have a great relationship.
Jorge Mendoza Yescas, the Consul of Mexico in Phoenix, emphasizes the importance of celebrating this event at the Capitol.
Sign that times are changing.
In 2010, Senate Bill 1070 passed, changing attitudes towards immigration, impacting a majority of the Hispanic community with Mexican roots.
The reality is that SB 1070 is still in the books. It never went away. The Show Me Your Papers still in the books.
Activists like Salvador Reza believes while there has been some progress with immigration in Arizona, more still needs to be done.
It's like right now people are not complaining because there's no massive raids. Okay, that's a step in the right direction. But individually, they're still being discriminated. Individually, they're still being, deported.
Reza believes it takes the participation of many people from the community to make lasting change. In Phoenix, Adriana Gonzalez Chavez, Cronkite News.
Today, President Biden paid his respects to the late Arizona Senator John McCain during his visit to Vietnam. President Biden visited the memorial near where Senator McCain was attacked back in 1967. As you know, Senator McCain was in the Navy when his plane was shot down by the North Vietnamese. He was held as a prisoner of war for years before being released in 1973. President Biden and Senator McCain became friends while working together in the U.S. Senate. Well, it was a scorcher this weekend here in the Valley.
That's right, but our Jordy Fee-Platt explains there is some relief in sight and maybe even a little rain. Jordy, what can we expect?
Let's take a look at our evening planner for this Monday night. 100 degrees at 7 p.m. At 10 p.m. it'll be 95. So finally cooling off a little bit in the evening, getting underneath those triple digits, and you can finally go outside and be a little bit more comfortable after a really, really hot weekend. And it will continue to cool off a little bit. Hopefully some rain coming through into Tuesday afternoon. You see the entire state expected to get at least a little bit of rain, and Phoenix will be part of that as well. Supposed to come through in the middle of the afternoon on Tuesday, and that'll be a welcome sight after some crazy hot temperatures the last couple of days. And this rain hopefully will be reflective in the lower temperatures. 47 degrees in Flagstaff, 62 degrees in Sedona. The low of 80 degrees in Phoenix is one of the lowest we've seen in quite some time, and same with the highs. 67 degrees in Flagstaff, 77 degrees in Sedona. That's some fall-like weather here in mid-September, and Phoenix will stay underneath the triple-digit mark going into Tuesday, which is a really, really good sign as well. Taking a look at the 8-day forecast, 102 is the normal average high, and that's what we'll get to on Thursday after some chances of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. It'll heat up a little bit going into the weekend. 105 is the high on Saturday and Sunday, but that's much more manageable. You can take your kids outside and be a little bit more comfortable in comparison to the 110 plus degree temperatures that we've been seeing lately. Hopefully we'll be getting under triple digits more often going forward. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Jordy Fee-Platt.
ADOT is making a new addition to its freeways. The agency is adding humor to its signs, encouraging drivers to get home safe.
That's right. You may have seen this on your evening commute. Take a look at some of the new additions. This is all a part of ADOT's naming contest where drivers can submit their hilarious suggestions, with the winner having their signs displayed on the freeway. The agency says they received more than 3,000 entries. This is the 7th year ADOT has run this program.
I'm Sam Stern. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. The Phoenix Mercury struggled to get a victory in their last 10 games, but they notched another milestone. We'll tell you who made history next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage.
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este. Van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
and develop your skills with the latest technology.
Good evening and welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Sam Stern. Blistering hot temperatures at Mountain America Stadium fueled a hot start for the Sun Devils Saturday night. But as the game against Oklahoma State wore on, Kenny Dillingham's squad withered in the end. First quarter, it was all Sun Devils. The defense smothered the Cowboys, and B.J. Green had 2 of ASU's 3 sacks on the night. Cam Scatabo ran for 62 yards, including this touchdown as ASU went up 15-10 at half. But in the second, the Cowboys defense lassoed in the Sun Devils offense with an early interception and galloped away with it as Oklahoma State outscored ASU 17-0 in the second half and winning 27-15.
I thought the defense played hard, man. I think our football team's playing hard. I think if you watch us play, the effort is high. Right, we just got to learn how to win now. And I think the defense is playing winning football right now. I think the offense is close. We're playing a half of winning football, and we're playing plays of winning football. We just got to be more consistent.
The Pac-12 may be losing 10 of its 12 members at the end of the season, but the farewell tour is looking like a conference of champions. In fact, the Pac-12 is making history with the most teams ever in the top 25 football rankings. 8 teams found spots in the AP poll this week, including USC and Washington, and into the top 10. And don't forget about Deion Primetime Sanders and Colorado Buffaloes checking in at 18 and UCLA sneaking in at 24. The Pac-12 has never had more than 6 teams ranked in the same poll. The SEC is the only conference to have as many as 8 teams, with a record of 10 back in 2015. The Phoenix Mercury finished the regular season having lost 11 consecutive games, bringing their final record to 9-31. One bright spot came their last home game of the season Friday at Footprint Center. With more than 13,000 fans in attendance, the Mercury couldn't get a win in their finale against the Aces. But the Mercury had some history. Shug Sutton recorded the first triple-double in franchise history with 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists in what was an incredible comeback story for the guard. Sutton was released by the Mystics as a rookie in 2020 and has been grinding to be back in the league ever since. In her first full season as a pro, she's already accomplished something no Mercury player has ever accomplished.
The journey to get back here wasn't easy at all. I'm just really thankful. I thank God to be in this position. And it was not easy at all, but to look back and see how far I've came, it's crazy. And I'm speechless just to see how much I've accomplished and was able to get back to where I said that I was going to be. So, sorry. But yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals are trying to prove the world wrong by finishing with the worst record in the league. But that motivation wasn't enough to beat the Washington Commanders in Week 1. The Cards' defense shined on many plays, including this 2-yard fumble, scoop, and score by Cameron Thomas, giving Arizona the lead before half. But Washington had a response in the fourth. Quarterback Sam Howell finds the gap and makes a run at the end zone, and the Commanders come out on top with their first win under new ownership and a final score of 20-16. The lights were shining bright in Scottsdale for high school football last week as the two teams who were the last ones standing at the end of last year faced off once again on Friday night. Our reporter Beatrice Martinez was there covering the action.
It was an electric atmosphere in Scottsdale on Friday night for the much-anticipated rematch of last year's Open Division State Championship game between the Basha Bears and Saguaro Sabercats. Basha won last year's title game over Saguaro, but the Bears, led by head coach Chris McDonald and quarterback Damon Williams Jr., were looking to get Basha back to their winning ways following a loss in their previous game to last year's 6A state champion, Highland.
I feel like we definitely cleaned a lot of stuff up. I feel like we were a little bit too lax to start the season. It's a whole new team, whole new goal and everything. So, I feel like we definitely corrected our mistakes. Great practice this week, and I just felt like the way we practiced this week definitely felt like there should be a W at the end of it.
Unlike most coaches, Coach McDonald wanted this loss to marinate for an entire weekend before taking on the Saguaro Sabercats.
Look, these kids are competitors. I gave them that weekend off last week. Typically on Saturdays we put closure to the games, and reset and move on for the next week. But not last week. I didn't want to put closure on it until Monday because I wanted us as a team to feel that pain, and so they understand. Hey, when it's time to prepare, we've got to prepare like champions.
And the Bears played like champions once again in a game that went back and forth before Basha came away with the victory once again over the Sabercats 35-31.
We came out, we handled business, and I feel like, it came down to the wire, similar to last week, and I felt like we learned from our mistakes and capitalized when we were supposed to, and, I couldn't ask for a better team.
Hey, we finished. Let's just keep building off of this, right? Yeah.
As a team, Basha's record moved to 2-1 on the season, while Saguaro fell to 2-1. But don't be surprised if these two teams meet once again in another classic this postseason. In Scottsdale, Beatrice Martinez, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News Report. Tabitha and Jacob, back to you.
Do or do not, there is no trying to get a Star Wars prop going on auction next month.
We'll be right back with the starting bid after this.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
and develop your skills with the latest technology.
A very lucky Star Wars fan might be able to own a piece of movie history.
A X-Wing fighter from one of the early movies goes on sale soon, but it's going to cost you. This is what the X-Wing fighter looks like. The starting bid is expected to top $400,000. The fighter made its camera debut in Episode 4, A New Hope, which released in 1977. The auction house says the fighter was used in the final battle scene. The fighter is so valuable, only 4 of these were ever made. The fighter goes on auction next month. That's it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us. To see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.